It is April 9th, 2025, and I have finished up to season 4, episode 9 of Grey's Anatomy. And no, I do not want any spoilers. We're having some trouble with that on the Grey's Anatomy side of things. I do not want any spoilers for Shameless. I just look at her adorable, sweet little face. You're telling me I'm gonna hate her more than everybody else in the series? I still have a hard time with that. Especially because this 13-year-old girl is dealing with, on some level, this old ass man. All right, well, he's not that old. Like, he is, I believe he's 19 or 20. He's certainly much younger than me, but he is way too old to be dealing with Debbie. And it's just like, Debbie just keeps trying to grow up too fast. And I'm just like, girl, like, you're 13. Do your homework. Get a Club Penguin account. Like, don't do this. Before this whole thing with that 20-year-old old ass man in comparison to her, she was doing some interesting, cool things. Like when everybody got taken by CPS, because eventually they all got taken by CPS because of Frank's call from before. She ended up getting placed by herself in like this group home type situation, and she was like being forced to make jewelry for food. And eventually she ran away from the place because she wasn't like eating enough, and she ended up like super gluing the lady's eyes shut because she was like, I see everything, and like she just completely like vengeanced her to death. And I'm like, ooh, Debbie, that's unhinged, but I get it, and it's not the most unhinged thing in this series so far. The most unhinged thing in this series so far is how Kevin V tried to have their children. So as far as we were aware, V was infertile. Like she had a bad experience as a teenager, and because of that, like having kids is much harder for her. Okay, fine. But they wanted kids with like their DNA, and to my recollection, V does not have any siblings. So they called in her mom, and they did this the old-fashioned way. And I'm like, y'all, there's so many other ways to do this. And the fact that I'm even thinking about the logistics of how you inseminate your mom the old-fashioned way, the fact that I'm even thinking about this just goes to show how fucking unhinged this show is. But I feel like if they hadn't been so gung-ho about doing it this way, they would not have had to traumatize Kevin and V and the mom, like, for all of this. Like, I can't imagine how these people look at each other anymore. And then the worst part was V got pregnant like right after the mom was successfully inseminated. So it's just kind of like, what was the point of all that? And then when the mom had the baby, like the boy, she got so attached to the baby that they let her keep it. And it wasn't like they were going to be like without a baby, because at that point V had twins. She was supposed to have triplets, but then one of them got absorbed. So they're having twin girls now. So there is an uncle sibling cousin, an uncle sibling cousin wandering around who is V's brother, son-in-law. I don't know. I think it's brother stepmom or sister stepmom or something. Either way, it's awful. It's Game of Thrones wishes it was this deranged. But apart from that, though, their relationship is going strong. Kevin inherited the bar, the alibi, and they're trying to deal with, like, its money problems. So then Kev ends up going into business with Ian's erstwhile married boyfriend, Mickey. And, like, these two are very cute together. They're incredibly toxic. I need them to see at least one therapist. But that's like not happening at the moment because Ian was actually gone for a while. Like he ended up using Lip's name to sign up for the military, and then he stole a helicopter, so now he's AWOL and he's working at this gay bar, and everybody has found him, and now Mickey is seeing him in secret. And it's in secret because he married the hooker that his dad made him sleep with. Like it was a weird rape by proxy because the dad watched and made Ian awful shit. But either way, Mickey is married. He's about to be a father, or at least like we think he's going to be a father. Actually, no, she had the baby. I can't take so long making videos about Shameless because the last one about this was like early season 3, and now we're in late season 4, and a lot has happened. But his wife, I think her name is Svetlana. She had the baby, and Mickey is just not attached to it at all because he's just like, who knows if this baby's even mine? They're just making me marry her. They just made me marry her because I'm very clearly gay. Then Mickey ends up, inciting a revolution, and he and Kevin end up starting like a hand thing above the alibi, and this whole thing is just a mess. But what's really serious is that Ian is now back from the military, and he is a little bit manic, so he might be on something, or he might be like mentally sick. And considering Monica's history and Frank's history, this would not be out of the ordinary. Like, Ian might have problems that might be a little bit too big for Mickey to handle. Speaking of problems that are above everybody's pay grade, Fiona, what is you doing, girl? So after Jimmy leaves, because Jimmy's a fuckface, she ends up getting with her boss at her office job where she's like selling cups or some shit. This is Mike. And Mike is, coincidentally, he was one of the frat bros on Greek. And Greek was a great show, y'all. So, like, they're very cute, very sweet together, and he brings Fiona home to meet his family. And then among those people is his older brother, Robbie. This man is a war criminal. He also has, like, addiction issues and, like, some fucked up, ideas just in general. So naturally, Fiona starts an affair with him. She was like, oh, look at this, like, this decent man who's got, like, a job and a good family and his head on his shoulders and loves me to death. I'm gonna fuck his ain't shit brother. And then when Mike inevitably finds out about this, Robbie, like, as an apology, hands her some cocaine, and then she does the cocaine, and then the baby, Liam, gets into the cocaine, so Fiona gets arrested. She has a record now. She's on house arrest. Lip is pissed at her. Lip has been struggling in college. He's doing a little bit better now, but, like, he was definitely struggling in the beginning. He did not need this shit. And Fiona almost fought the case, and then Lip was like, everyone was like, no, like, this was an accident, but, like, you did this, own it. And then she goes back to Robbie's house to fucking scream at him about, like, ruining her life. And Robbie only showed up so that he could make sure that Fiona didn't snitch, and which she didn't because she's an idiot. So hopefully nothing bad comes of this. I just hate that, like, she's at the house. Like, Fiona, what is you doing? And this is a little bit of a theme with Fiona. Like, her life is going well and everything is just starting to settle out. And then she's like, how can I throw a wrench into this to make my life infinitely harder for me and for those around me? Lip has to consider dropping out of school now because it's going to be so much harder for Fiona to get a job with her whole felon thing, especially because of the way that she got the felony, the way that she caught the charge. And they're like, no, Lip, like, you have to stay in school. And Lip is just like, what the fuck? Like, what do you expect me to do in a situation like this? Do I think that he's being, like, entirely fair? No. Like, he's only blaming Fiona when there were a bajillion other adults in the room and everybody lost track of Liam. But I completely understand his frustration. He's not wrong. As for, like, more general things, Carl remains unhinged. I can't think of, like, anything super pertinent going on with him right now. He went to cancer camp for a while. Frank is dying of, like, liver disease. He ends up finding his oldest daughter. The oldest daughter ends up coming on to him. It's awful. It's icky. So Frank is actually a grandfather. He's really doing bad at the moment. So we might be losing Frank soon. As of now, that is what is going on in Shameless as of season 4, episode 9. This show is unhinged to the point where I think I'm going to have to make it a point to do these, like, recaps in smaller intervals because this was a lot to cover.